Welcome back. Everyone deserves a second chance at life, whether you walk on 2 legs or 4. From possums to squirrels, hundreds of animals get that second chance from a Rockford couple who opened their home and their hearts to care for injured and sick creatures. WIFR's Miriam Niesmeyer takes us to Lisa's Little Rescue, where nut trees and squirrel houses help these animals thrive.
How's that?
This isn't your normal backyard. At Lisa's Little Rescue in Rockford, more than 300 animals a year get a second chance at life.
For a lot of animals, it's between life and death. So we're thrilled to be able to get the animals placed immediately.
Lisa Beardsworth and her husband, Mike, have rescued wildlife across the state line, from baby squirrels to rabbits, woodchucks, opossums, and even coyotes.
These ones just got released about a week ago, so they are still coming back and forth to sleep at nighttime.
Their home is now a sanctuary for animals with nowhere else to go. Once they rehabilitate them, they release them back into the wild. But some of the squirrels come back to visit. Like this one. Lisa is on the Illinois Department of Natural Resources rescue list. She's the one answering when someone finds an injured animal in Winnebago, Boone, Ogle, or Stevenson counties.
So if we don't go get the animals or take the animals from the public, what happens? Animal Services has to euthanize them. No one wants to see that.
But it's not just about rescue, it's about education. Lisa spends hours coaching people on how to safely reunite baby animals with their mothers.
To prevent animals from needing to come into rehab in the first place.
Lisa says animals like squirrels and opossums keep the ecosystem healthy, planting trees, eating ticks, and cleaning up what's left behind.
They're such gentle animals, and they're so vital.
Local businesses and community support help keep the mission going. In Rockford, Miriam Niesmeyer, WIFR News.
If you are interested in donating fruits, vegetables, or contributing, you can reach out to Lisa's Little Rescue on Facebook.